This is not the sunrise. I had to wonder where I would come today for this very special feast day of All Saints. And the place that kept coming back to me in Jerusalem that would be suitable was precisely here, precisely in the spot. I'm not sure what you think about saints. Who are saints? Who are saints? You know, we have Olympic prizes for the Olympic medals for the greatest sports people. And we have Nobel prizes for great contributors to humanity in different fields. And there are probably many other competitions and prizes for outstanding people, the Guinness Book of Records for some other things. So, for the soul of the human being, there's sanctity, all saints. And maybe we think of a lot of saints, names that are famous and called saints, and they are surely also included. But here, the emphasis today is on a different kind of person. Different, I can back up a little bit. It's not about external piety. It's not about anything other than being completely transformed by grace, which is, in a way, not our doing at all. It's God's doing in us. It's His power in us. And it can happen in the worst circumstances and completely be misjudged by the world and by public opinion and even by one's own family. This is the famous Mosque of Omar outside the Holy Sepulchre. So why do I come here? Because who would have thought on Good Friday, Calvary is right up behind this space, up the stairs into the left. We'll be going up there from inside in a moment. Who could have thought that this crucified person would have any meaning? Those who wanted him eliminated thought their work was complete. But they were mistaken, like the Book of Wisdom says. They misjudged the reality. And so the person who was broken, torn, repudiated, victim of incredible injustice, was actually the source of salvation for mankind. This is our Christian understanding. So it seemed to me necessary to come here because Thomas Aquinas says that what we see in Christ crucified is the model of every single virtue. Reaches its climax here, its peak. And that might be a big statement right now that would need a lot of reflection and working on. But Thomas Aquinas was no dummy. And it is a thought that has often kept me busy, processing and pondering, and found it most fruitful. There are liturgies going on at the moment, so I'm looking for a good moment to enter into Calvary and also into the tomb. Maybe the tomb is open, maybe there's a liturgy going on. In a certain sense, it's not necessary to go inside into these places. You can see pictures of them in many places. But to be here in this very special place where a person was executed, capital punishment, after terrible tortures, incredible injustice, awful betrayal. And in the middle of that, the greatest sanctity was shown, which was an absence of hatred and a great concern and love for everyone around him, including his persecutors. We could read the different readings today. There's an extra reading for All Saints' Day. We have a reading from the book of Revelation. Describing the lot of those who were suffering. A multitude, a vast multitude. No one could count them. Maybe not even artificial intelligence. A vast multitude. What the Lord has worked in so many people. It's the Hall of Fame description that's in this reading. This pillar is also a reminding of the scourging at the pillar. Here we see the tortures of the way of the cross, and we think of how many people can identify with inhuman treatment and suffering endured, obligation, pressures, disasters, hatreds. And this is where saints are forged. The Lamb of Sacrifice, how many people bear so much burden for family members, for friends? They bear the burden of shame. They bear the burden unjustly of guilt. And it's in those circumstances, not falling into hatred or bitterness, revenge, rancor. Here we have the tomb where the body was laid. This is a very special spot for today's feast day because it's the place of the utmost defeat, the tomb, the burial, the disintegration of the body. And yet in this case, the proof that the path of humility and doing God's will, of living a life according to our conscience, in truth, in generosity, in love, is the path of our integrity, how we can truly be and reach the fullness of our humanity. In the glory, we can't even estimate or calculate what it's going to be like. Here we enter the chapel of Joseph of Arimathea. Those who are chanting are the Coptic monks. Maybe we can go in here. I'm not sure how much we will get to see with the shadows, but this is a place of burial in the 1st century. An important detail for the archaeology of the Holy Sepulchre, but how much destruction and challenge and difficulty human beings witness in their lifetime, and how much growth when one forgives, when one reconciles, when one perseveres despite setbacks in health, and finances, and family relationships. What's fascinating here is the point of the resurrection is that we are very impressed by people who do evil. They cause a lot of damage in the world. They do a lot of harm. They create great suffering that continues oftentimes in memory. But the work of grace, the work of the resurrection, is an outpouring of goodness and strength that allows the most lost person, the most tried person, the most suffered person to have victory. There's a strength coming from the faith in the risen Lord that's working in us through faith, united with Christ in baptism, but also working mysteriously in the entire universe that groans for salvation, that longs for salvation. In the hearts of so many who haven't been blessed to receive 10 talents, just one. In the hearts of those who struggle to feed a hungry person even though they don't have anything. To visit the prisoner, to bury the many dead around them in wars and disasters. The holiness of people who give of themselves and don't hold back. Lord, this is the people that longs to see your face. The ones who have survived the time of great distress, survived, not caved in, not become violent, not become despairing, but have held on to faith, held on to trust, held on to love. This is sanctity. So we don't have to imagine a nice condition in order to be a saint. It's your condition right now is perfect for becoming a saint. No matter what your suffering is, what your situation is, your condition is perfect. We just have to struggle to go up the steps of life one by one. We come up here to Calvary.
Preghiamo perché il nostro sacrificio sia gradito a Dio, Padre Onnipotente. Ti siano graditi, Signore, i doni del pane e del vino che ti offriamo in onore di tutti i santi. Essi che gozono già della tua vita immortale ci proteggano nel cammino verso di te. Per Cristo nostro Signore. Il Signore sia con voi. In alto i nostri cuori. Rendiamo grazie al Signore il nostro Dio. È veramente cosa buona e giusta, nostro dovere forse di salvezza rendere grazie sempre in ogni luogo a te, Signore Padre Santo, Dio onnipotente ed eterno. Oggi ci dai la gioia di celebrare la città santa, la Gerusalemme del cielo, che è nostra madre, dove l'assemblea festosa dei nostri fratelli glorificati in eterno, glorifica in eterno il tuo nome. Verso la patria comune noi pellegrini sulla terra, sorretti della fede, affrettiamo il cammino piedi per la sorte gloriosa di questi membri eletti del Spirito, che nella nostra debolezza ci dia tutore il sostegno e potente.
In a way, sanctity is really like the marriage vows. I will love you in good times and bad times, in sickness or in health, in poverty and riches. Sanctity doesn't take into account our circumstances. It takes into account our heart. An upright heart, a heart that loves. We are God's children now. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. We do know that when it is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Everyone who has this hope based on him makes himself pure, as he is pure. Maybe we just finish off with the text from the Beatitudes, a couple of the lines. Blessed are those who mourn. How many people are drying tears today? In so many places in the world, so many families, so many societies, so many businesses, so many contexts, so many persecutions. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are the peacemakers, the clean of heart. Those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. So I am happy to have provided this little moment here at the Holy Sepulchre, a different kind of sunrise on this day. The sunrise of every human being in holiness before God. What an incredible gift for us, for humanity. What an awesome way to be, to live. people, God bless you. May you be blessed this day. May it be another day on your path to holiness that nobody might recognize, that nobody might see. Within the depths of your heart, you are answering God's call. You're offering yourself in goodness and kindness, in compassion. And there's a star up here, the cock is crowing. Is it a star or a planet? I don't know the answer. God bless you.